She screamed so loud, I thought the damn flamingos on my pool float were gonna fly south for the winter. You can't let that beast in the water. Brenda hollered, pointing a trembling finger at Diesel, my 12-year-old German shepherd, who was chest-deep in the shallow end, happily chomping on a watermelon slice like he owned the place, which, technically, he kinda did. My fenced-in backyard, my pool, my rules. But Brenda. She wasn't big on boundaries. Physical or otherwise. I took a slow sip of iced tea, squinting through the sun as she stood outside my fence with a stack of HOA printouts flapping in her hand like she was about to deliver a closing argument at the Supreme Court. Every section highlighted in neon pink, yellow, blue like she was prepping for a midterm she assigned herself. This pool is under Community Sanitation Code, she shrieked. You're breaking at least 5 violations. I was about to tell her exactly where she could stick her highlighters when I saw a familiar SUV turning onto our street. My son, Eli, in his sheriff's cruiser. He wasn't in uniform that day, just stopping by for lunch. But Brenda didn't know that. And the look on her face when he stepped out with his badge still clipped to his belt. Priceless. Let me back up a second. Brenda had just moved back to the neighborhood after a year-long hiatus. Folks around here hoped maybe she'd mellowed out, maybe Arizona heat had softened her soul or whatever. No. The minute her moving truck left the cul-de-sac, she reemerged like a groundhog high on espresso. First came the laminated flyers about proper lawn height stapled to every mailbox. Then she scolded the mailman for overly aggressive delivery sounds. I'm not even kidding. By week 2, she slipped an anonymous envelope under my door claiming my patio umbrella violated shade pattern uniformity. That's a real quote. Thing is, Brenda used to be the HOA president, but that role and the entire HOA itself was dissolved while she was away. Even better, due to a redrawn boundary, my property isn't even under HOA jurisdiction anymore. Fully exempt. Legal. Final. But Brenda never got the memo, or more likely, she burned it. So the day she saw Diesel swimming was the day the war began. She stormed over, red-faced and waving what looked like a homemade badge. Effective immediately, she declared, this pool is closed pending board review. I blinked at her. Brenda, there is no board. You're not on it. It doesn't exist. That didn't stop her. She tried to snap a picture of Diesel in the water, but my sprinklers kicked on total coincidence, I swear, and soaked her binder like a baptism of karma. She screamed, flailed, and stomped off muttering about lawsuits and salmonella. Should have ended there, right? Wrong. She started walking the block every morning with a clipboard, peering into backyards like she was scouting targets. I caught her standing on a cinder block once, peeking over my fence. This isn't spying, she yelled when I called her out. It's community oversight. My neighbor Jerry, a retired Marine, nearly choked on his coffee watching the exchange. Is it wrong that I'm rooting for her downfall? He whispered. I told him only if he brings popcorn. Then Eli stopped by again, this time still in uniform, and that's when Brenda really lost it. She saw the badge, saw him hand me a bag of takeout, and vanished like she was retreating to plot. That evening, I got a letter. No name, no header, typed in freaking Comic Sans. It accused me of weaponizing law enforcement to undermine community trust. Eli read it, laughed so hard he nearly cried. Guess I'm a tactical unit now, he said. Deployed by a watermelon-eating dog. But the grand crescendo came 2 days later when Brenda showed up outside my fence waving a new set of neon highlighted papers. That dog must be inspected and certified before entering any community pool, she shouted. Brenda, I said, leaning on the gate, you don't live here, you don't govern this property, and Diesel's got better hygiene than half the people at your last block party. Right then, Eli's cruiser pulled up again, not in uniform this time, but badge still clipped to his jeans. Brenda lit up like she'd just been handed a golden ticket. I want to file a report, she snapped. He's threatening me with that dog, violating pool ordinances, and now you're here again with your badge. This is collusion. Eli blinked. I'm sorry, did you just say illegal pool floaties? This is harassment, she backed. No, Eli said calmly, this is my dad's backyard, and you're trespassing. Brenda wasn't backing down. It's not trespassing if I'm correcting illegal behavior. Eli sighed, pulled out a document from his back pocket, and read her the formal trespass warning. You're done. One more incident and we file charges. She tried to laugh it off, but her voice cracked. This is tyranny, she shouted, backing away, knocking over one of my garden gnomes on her way out. I picked it up, brushed it off, and asked Eli, you think that's the last of it? With Brenda, he said. Doubt it. But now she knows where the line is. She went quiet for 3 days. Then I found a glossy flyer posted on the old HOA bulletin board. A picture of my pool taken without permission with the headline, Community Alert, Unauthorized Canine Access Poses Health Risk. Signed by something called the Oversight Committee. Which, of course, was just Brenda in a new hat. Soon, 2 strangers in matching polos showed up, claiming to be from the Community Harmony Group. Said they were doing a courtesy inspection based on sanitation complaints. I pointed to the laminated county map I'd posted on my fence. You're trespassing, I said. Document that. They left. But the silence that followed. It didn't feel like peace. It felt like the air right before a thunderstorm. Then came the knock. Saturday morning. The real county inspector, polite, clipboard, the whole thing. Anonymous complaint, he said. Alleging hazardous animal presence. I let him in. Diesel trotted up, offered his favorite slobbery tennis ball. The inspector chuckled. Menace to society, huh? After a full check, he said, this is the cleanest backyard I've seen all month. Before he left, he added, the complaint packet. Over 50 pages. Color-coded. With footnotes. That's when I called Eli and said, let's draft something real. We sent a certified letter, legal header, formal tone, citing harassment, defamation, impersonation of authority. And for a few days Brenda vanished. But it wasn't over. A grey minivan pulled up. 4 strangers got out, all in matching blouses. They weren't from around here. Went door to door with flyers and friendly smiles. Brenda had outsourced. They made it halfway around the block before I stopped them in my driveway. We're here to assess neighborhood alignment, one said. I laughed. You mean Brenda called you? They gave me corporate speak about visibility, creating perception, and shared expectations. Nope, I said. You're not enforcement. You're not welcome. Get off my property. They left. That night, a deputy taped a formal letter to Brenda's door citing public intimidation, impersonation, regulatory simulation. And for the first time, she didn't scream. She didn't argue. She just stood there, clutching that letter, frozen. Days passed. Quiet ones. Diesel swam in peace. No flyers. No binoculars. Just stillness. Until a package arrived. No return address. Inside. A red binder, tabs, footnotes, photos of my property, list of my guests, old social media post. It was like she thought she was building a case. But all it built was evidence against her. Eli took one look and said, this seals it. 2 days later, Brenda got her summons, a formal mediation hearing over multiple harassment complaints filed not just by me but by half the block. Jerry. The Andersons. Even Langley from 2 streets over. And just like that, the tyrant of the cul-de-sac was finally being held accountable. So now I ask you, when does a community concern cross the line into obsession? When someone creates fake rules, fake committees, fake violations, and tries to enforce them with real intimidation, who's really breaking the peace? Was I right to push back? Or did I pour gasoline on the fire? Let me know where you draw the line.